Hello, entrepreneurs out there. Where did you take your last course? Was it in a hotel room? Was it in a hotel hall, a lobby? I did mine at a mansion. Why? Because I know James Malinchak. How did I meet him? Good question. Let me tell you. Well, first of all, who is James Malinchak? Some of you don't know. James was featured on the ABC TV hit show, Secret Millionaire. He was the secret millionaire that they took and dropped in a little area with a couple bucks a week. And it was pretty cool. Go back and look it up. It's on YouTube. It had 50 million views. Okay. Also, he's a best-selling author of, I believe the name, Millionaire Success Secrets. Yep. And he also founded the Big Money Speaker. So with all that behind him, he offered a course along with Nick and Megan Unsworth, and the course was a really inexpensive investment in ourselves. But the first thing on the cake was the bonus. The bonus was 2 days at James's mansion to study from him. It was a no-brainer. I didn't even remember what I bought. I just went for the bonus. It was crazy. So I promised to show you 4 or 5 minutes of what I learned and what it was like. So here you go. Let me share my screen and just show you, if I can move me out of the way. Webinar. Okay. So first of all, he did 2 days at a time, like a Monday and a Tuesday, and he had 10 to 15 people come to his home. Then he would take a picture. Well, first, let's start with the limo. He had us picked up in a limo. Seriously, a nice bus, a really nice, comfortable bus for water and drinks inside. He also, there's the inside. This was the second time I went. She's only 14. This is Emma. You'll meet her in a few minutes. And all these wonderful people. It was great. Okay, then I'm going to show you a little bit of, hello, what he did with us when we got there. We all had pictures. Okay, so James, this is the whole group. We were just a small group each time we went. They might have been Monday and Tuesday. They might have been Wednesday and Thursday. And he piled them in. This was June, July. I mean, I don't know if these were the July people. Let me move myself out of the way. Okay, and then he had more people here. I think this was actually the first group that went. Yeah, that was the very first group that got to go. Lucky son of a guns. And there's another group that got to go. I don't know if you recognize anybody in here. Another group. I mean, he just kept inviting people to his home as part of this bonus. Look how many times he opened the doors to his home. Oh, there we are. There's my group. And I have all these pictures if anybody needs them. Okay, so let's drop out of here and go back to, so now you see a little bit of his home. Let me show you his basketball court. Be more, do more, achieve more, James Malinchak. How does that not surprise you? But here's what he did with Emma. Emma's the 14-year-old I showed you on the bus. Look at this. She got to slam dunk against James Malinchak. Go, girl. Good job. You should have seen her eyes listening. She was just absorbing like a sponge. James was excellent with the girls. Okay, so let's go back to a few more pictures and then I'll tell you about the adventure. The beautiful pool. I mean, literally, this is where he lives. This is what we came out for breaks out here. We came out for lunch out here. What else do we have? Oh, we even went out and do an exercise out there. You probably couldn't hear that. I probably don't have they said bestseller on fire challenge, join today. Those are just people hanging around doing a good job. Okay, so here's where James came in the room, and you'll notice his walls are all set up by famous testimonials, and we were making a lot of noise. James. I think we kind of surprised him. Let's see what else we have. Oh, I got to set his shish. He doesn't know I did this. Don't tell him, okay? That's what I felt like. I felt like the weekend was incredible, that I was pretending to show you his books. See all his books? And then we go back here and we've seen everything. Okay, so now that I've done that, let's go out of the share and come back. And let me tell you what it was like. Well, first of all, I told you why. We got to go as a bonus. So this was all free. And he taught us how he does things, what his walls look like, the people in the wall. He introduced us to all of them. He gave us suggestions on how, suggestions, that's a light word. He told us how he made an offer, how he came into a room, how he left the room, how everything he does is intentional. I mean, he just kept teaching us and teaching us 2 solid days. And at the end, he showed us how he does an offer. Well, what's the best way to show somebody how you do an offer? Have it be a real offer. And many of us jumped on the offer. And that will be my next video, which is VIP coaching at James's Mastermind. But this was at his house. It was phenomenal. 2 solid days. Now, James has his rules. He has his strict, calls them borders, or forget what he calls it. He's got a specific word, and you have to have them. If you don't, people will be all over you. It's like, he said that you had to be at the house, at the hotel, in order to be picked up by the bus to go to his house, or you're not getting through his gate. That was the rule. Okay. I followed the rule. Then he had certain things that, what was it? He has a certain way he write a book. All right. And he's telling us, this is the way that works, that you have to do it this way. Don't do it any other way. So I went to look it up and I couldn't find that name with my name I wanted to put. So I said, can I add an S on books? He said, Joanne, do you see an S on books? Like, no, James. So, I mean, he's very specific on what he teaches, and it's phenomenal. So if you ever get a chance to go, and I don't know that he'll do this many more times. I know he did it in June, did it in August, did it in October, and he's doing it in January. Those of you who didn't jump in there and sign up real fast and get your dates, I know it was a limited time offer. So I hope you all get to go, but it was phenomenal. Okay, so I will be back on. I hope you enjoy a little trip down James's house. I had a great time. I met so many good people. Oh, let me tell you one more thing. Is the offer that he gave us at the end was for a mastermind. The mastermind was in October. I told you in October, he also had people coming to his house Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm getting really resourceful. I'm really listening to these guys. I showed up for the mastermind 2 days early. The day early, everybody shows up because you have to settle in and get the hotel. It starts early in the morning. But I did one more day early. And instead of showing up at the hotel where the mastermind was, I went to the hotel where James was having everybody at his house. Not because I wanted to get invited to his house. I know the rules. You don't go unless you're there, okay? You're going to be. But I went there because I knew it was a Tuesday and he was going to have day 2 of 10 or 15 people at his house. I waited for the bus to come. I waited for the limo bus, and I recorded them as they were coming off. I was blown away. The people that were coming off the bus, they were all people, many people I knew. And I don't have the recording here, but it was like, as they were coming up, I'm recording and they're coming over, giving me hugs. It was so much fun. And the people I didn't know, I got to meet. I got to spend the whole night. I got to have supper with them before they left for the next day. It was phenomenal. It was genius. The next morning, he had 15 different people going to his home. So I got up for breakfast to have breakfast with these people, all excited to go to James. What a great time to meet people when they're excited and they're all doing the same things as you are. So those are just little tips I used to take action, knowing that I was going to be there for the mastermind anyway. The next day, I just came a day or 2 early, came to the hotel they were at, specifically put myself. So now they left for the day. I was able to have breakfast, go to the other hotel and watch the people coming in for the mastermind and be there several hours early to meet them. I mean, it was very intentional and it worked out wonderfully. All right. Hope you entrepreneurs had a good listening. I'm like, hello, goodbye.